What's up everybody, another beautiful day on the Dragonflight beta, and we're back with some more raid guides and previews. And today we're taking a look at Mythic Terros in the new raid Vault of the Incarnates. Now this is beta testing, so a lot of things can change, be added, or well, scrapped altogether. So what is new on Mythic for Terros the Gentle Elemental? Well, as far as mechanics goes, not a whole lot. You have Reactive Dust and an improved Rock Blast. So Reactive Dust, whenever Terros casts Fractured Rubble or Shattering Impact, which is the big circle that smacks down and then spawns smaller circles, everyone in the raid gets afflicted by Reactive Dust, which is a dot that deals a ton of damage every 0.5 seconds, and it lasts until you remove it by running into another player with Reactive Dust. And doing so triggers an explosive reaction which spawns yet another circle underneath you, which in turn makes an earthen spike erupt from it, which deals damage and knocks you back. Don't get spiked. Now Rock Blast, on the other hand, on Mythic, it deals damage to everyone in the raid regardless if they're in it or not. Issue is, if you're not in it, damage doesn't split, so everyone just takes the full value of it. So fewer soakers translates into more raid damage taken, which also means you cannot do the hero play and run out and immune this, because if you do, the entire raid dies. I tried this and everyone died. I did it for science! Now to be fair, the Reactive Dust, this mechanic kinda didn't do a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Could be a case of tuning, but most of the time you kinda just ran around a bit, and when you saw a circle on the ground, you moved out of it. The dot by itself wasn't scary, and the erupting spikes was very easy to dodge. So without the downside of, say, Anduin circles where you die or blow everyone up if you run over the wrong circle and there's a time threshold, yeah, this mechanic is just kinda there. You ran out of circle. Now the dot, however, can get very dicey when combined with all of the other outgoing raid damage during this encounter. And it's more in the tuning. I guess you'll find the mythic portion of this fight rather than the mechanics. Now that being said, due to how much damage stuff does on Mythic and the fact that Rock Blast kinda needs to be soaked by the entire raid, you might want to approach this a bit differently from suggested heroic strats. Now anytime a tank breaks a pillar or spike with the Halandr's beam, the raid gets a stacking dot. This one kinda slaps on Mythic, and depending on how hard they tune this, you probably don't want to break more than 2 to 3 spikes at a time to avoid getting overwhelmed. Now the issue with this is that you get spikes at the same time as you get the Rock Blast soak, and having 5 to 6 people not soaking this is not great due to the increased raid damage taken. And you also don't want to YOLO drop the spikes in the Rock Blast, as they do damage as well around them when they pop up, and if you place them poorly, tanks might not be able to break them properly, either beaming too many or too few, and you usually get a beam right after spike spawns, so you'll go from tons of raid damage from the Rock Blast split damage into a nasty dot, so you really don't want to accidentally beam too many there. Then throughout the fight, this overlap usually happens shortly after Shattering Impact, which is the one that gives everyone Reactive Dust. So if people haven't cleared their stacks before soaking Rock Blast, you might notice your raid's HP spikes. Now, as far as soaking the Rock Blast and placing the spikes properly goes, cue the picture. A suggested tactic was to make 3 camps within the Rock Blast circle and having the raid stack in the middle lane of the circle, if you will, and spikes at the side, aiming to have 3 on each side, and most likely boss mods will mark all spiked players, so you can assign it something like Moon X Triangle left inside the Rock Blast and Star Diamond Circle on the right inside the Rock Blast, and then like I said, rest of the raid in the middle lane of it, and you drop the Rock Blast close to the boss so melee doesn't get sad when they can't slap it. Now doing it this way means everyone can soak it, and you'll always have earth spikes split into 2 groups for easier beaming. Other than that, you just alter between 2 locations, one for spawning spikes, one for spawning rubble, and dealing with Reactive Dust. So spawn spike, move and bait rubble, move back to spike location. Done! And you also want to bait the 100 energy slam near your spike location to aim it properly to cover the space you already used. But yeah, pretty fitting for a second boss, and the rest is up to tuning really. And that's pretty much it for Terros on Mythic. If they make major changes to the fight and and we get to test it again, I will revisit this. Otherwise, I'll drop an updated guide once this raid goes live, and we've killed it. Now let me know in the comments what you think about the fight. Don't forget the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. I stream progression and testing on Twitch, usually Thursdays and Sundays, and whenever there's raid testing announced. Make sure to check out my Patreon if you want to help support me, my work, and my goal of upgrading my computer before Dragonflight. You also get access to the Stankie Discord, where you can get help with anything raiding related, and there's also a ton of awesome people to help you out. Speaking of awesome people, make sure to check out the Liquid Women in Warcraft Discord if you want a supportive and safe Warcraft community. I'll leave a link in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.